coronavirus over. Even if it's there to wake us up and show us what is essential, it has taken away many nice activities.
Like any experience, it's up to us to decide how long it happens. There are groups of people who want the coronavirus, the COVID-19 experience, to continue for the rest of our lives. And they've said that. And there's some people in political office, there's some people who are in different positions of medical authority or business authority, and they say, this is going to last for the rest of our lives. This is going to last for a long time. And if we look at it, they have a vested interest in it. They're going to make a lot of money from it, right? So of course they want it to continue for a long time. And yes, it has caused a lot of suffering in human beings. We are the human beings creating this reality, so it's up to us to decide how long something happens. It's also up to us to decide how something affects us, right? It's up to us to decide how it affects our way of thinking and therefore our behaviors and our emotions. Right? It's up to us what we want to have in our reality. My experience is when people stop following the guidelines or the dictates of this COVID-19 experience, that then it's going to start falling away, because it's not the virus that's the problem. It's the people who are making all the rules and controlling human behavior.
Exactly.
Right? It's not the virus. If you look at the statistics and the numbers, right, the virus is not doing what these people are wanting you to believe it's doing. And it's right here in front of everyone's eyes. If you just look at the science, the numbers, which is also coming from a government organization that you don't know who's even making up these numbers, right? But if you even look at the numbers, you realize it doesn't fit the story, right? And the numbers could be inflated also.
Absolutely.
We don't know this, but even the numbers they're proposing, it still doesn't fit the story, right? Okay, so once we investigate a little further, right, we can realize that the virus isn't really doing it to us. We're doing it to ourselves, right? It's how we think, it's how we act. So if you want to change the coronavirus experience, you have to change how you respond to the situation. Okay, because what they want is to make money, and to make money, they want to make sure you take the vaccination. They want to make sure you buy the products that these businesses are selling. Right? If you look at the companies that have made the most money during this process, you'll also realize they're the ones that are controlling the freedom of speech in the United States, right? Okay, so they keep everybody at home and you don't shop from their competitors. Okay, you keep everybody at home, right? You limit what they say, you control what they say, and then you'll keep focused on them for their content of information, and their stock value will go up because they're getting more visitors, because everyone's paying attention to them. So therefore the founders are making more money. So there's a difference between the virus itself, because the virus isn't making any money on this, right? The virus isn't the one determining political policies, right? They're not the one profiting at all. The virus isn't doing anything. It's the people that are doing it. So if you just like open your eyes a little bit more, right, and you look and say, okay, who's benefiting from this, right? Then you're going to see what the story about all this is. And then you stop cooperating with the story, okay? If you want to protect yourself from the virus, you get healthier. So you start eating healthier, you start exercising, you start working with your mind and your emotions. You learn how to control your environment, so you stop polluting your mind with messages of fear and doubt and all these things that give you a horrible day. Right? You start becoming an empowered creator to fill your life with messages of love and energies of love. Okay, that protects you from the virus because that's what boosts your immune system. All the other stuff is a whole different story, a whole different game going on. So if you want the restrictions on your life to end, you have to stop agreeing with those restrictions. You have to live the life that you want to live. And there's lots of different strategies to do this. What I recommend is that you live from your heart, you make yourself happy and as healthy as possible, you help to raise the vibration of other people, and if you feel guided, you start to share some of the information. But remember, the information you want to share should be that which empowers people to wake up. It shouldn't be information that tries to make people angry, because you want their mind open. When someone's afraid, they're not ready to listen. So you have to become friendly. You have to become loving and kind, right? And then maybe they'll start asking the question, or maybe there'll be an opening to learn some of this other information. Right? But for us, it's our responsibility to get ourselves out of fear first. It's our responsibility to be in love first. Don't be angry at the other human beings who are living in greater ignorance about what's going on in this world and also about their spiritual selves. Have compassion. Don't have anger. Have compassion and have love. Because when you have compassion and love, that creates an opening, and then other people are ready to understand and to listen. Right? So if you're a loving person, right, and you're smiling and you're happy, right, other people are going to notice that. Other people are going to connect with you in a greater way. But if you're aggressive and if you're violent, right, then you're in the same destructive energy, and that's that the rest of the world's in with this whole fear consciousness. And then you don't want to be in that. You're not helping the greater good.
Exactly.
And so try to educate yourself. The virus is one thing and the people are another thing. Right? They're doing different things to you. Right? In my channel teachings from the very beginning, right? It was the virus is just this. It's a flu virus and it's strong. It's a strong flu virus, yes, but it's still just a flu virus. And we've been getting flus the whole time and we don't shut down the world. There's even statistics that have shown that more people had a previous version of one of these like coronavirus flus. There's the bird flu, the swine flu, right? There were earlier flus, I think the H1N1 flu, and that was far stronger for human beings than this corona flu is. But we didn't shut down the whole country, right? We didn't do that because it wasn't serving the people who wanted the country to be shut down. And it just so happens that all of this comes out just before an election in the United States, just before a policy change, right? And if you look at the funders of the campaign, if you look at the people who are involved in the whole voting process, if you look at all this and just connect the dots of who's making the money, you're going to start to see a whole web open up, and you're going to see everyone that's connected in the process. There's a difference between the virus. Don't blame the virus. The virus isn't shutting down the world. The human beings who are making the decisions are.
Absolutely.
Right? There's lots of ways to boost your immunity, and there's lots of ways to be happy and healthy. But not everybody's going to want you to know that, right? Some people aren't going to want you to know that, I should say, because some people are going to make a lot of money off of ignorance. Right? And they love money, right? That's their God. Their God isn't your happiness or your health. Their God is their money, their wealth, their display of power. That's what they worship. Right? So understand it. Then you start to feel free. You start to feel empowered. You're no longer controlled by your own fear. Now in this present moment, right, this situation has gotten so big that it's been imposed upon us. Right. So it's being forced into our lives, right? We're all being told, wear a mask. You know, there's a city curfew. You can't go to these restaurants. You can't gather in these different ways. So now that this situation is being imposed upon me, it puts it right up in our faces. And then if we want to understand it, you know, we just start digging around a little bit to see what's going on here. Why is this happening? Who's making the decisions? And most importantly, who's benefiting from the decisions? Because if you look around the world right now, the common citizen is not benefiting from these decisions. Like 25% of businesses have already closed in America. Right? People are not benefiting from this. So who is, and why do they want to keep it going on? And if we look around the world, why are people not falling over, dropping dead? Right? If the virus is so dangerous, how come people that we know personally aren't really suffering from this? Now, some people are. I know people who have been sick by the coronavirus, right? I do know that. I know people who've been sick and their tests came back. Some say yes, some say no. It's like Elon Musk recently published that, you know, he was having some symptoms and he got tested and he got 4 tests from the same doctor, from the same blood draw, and 2 came back positive and 2 came back negative. And how can that be? Right? I know people who've had similar experiences. I know people who hadn't had any symptoms and they came back positive. I know people who had symptoms and their tests came back negative. So there's lots of interesting questions. But what we do know is that, you know, people aren't just falling over, dropping dead. Maybe this whole coronavirus thing is not as dangerous as we're led to believe. So who's benefiting from it? Really, who's benefiting from it? That's what's so important.
The
And when you see that, you'll feel so empowered.
The IDs who are after the corona don't have anything to do with it, right?
No. Yeah, because they're blaming it on a flu. And
No,
it's
but that's not the reason. That's
yeah, it's not the flu that's doing this
not
to
at all.
us, it's something else. So investigate,
It's
open your
now
mind.
pandemia. We always call it a pandemia.
Yes. Yes,
We
it is a
should make,
pandemic. Yep.
yeah, pandemic. Yeah, we call it a pandemic, not a pandemic.
Yeah.
Did you never heard it? No.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I heard that one. Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Yeah, me too. And
Yeah.
we and also I always say to the people, we should have a pandemic from love, a love pandemic.
Yeah,
You see?
definitely. Yeah. Yeah. If everyone's getting sick and we know that the medicine for sickness is happiness and health and harmony and natural foods and foods rich in vitamins and minerals, right? Like food grown from the earth and not cardboard food in boxes filled with chemicals, right? If we know the medicines that already exist around us, shouldn't we be delivering the medicines? Like, why has this whole process not focused on the medicines? And why are they all saying, no, the only medicine is this vaccine, and you have to wait and you have to suffer a long time to make sure that everybody wants to go get this vaccination? And the whole time we're not focused on medicine that boosts the immune system, right? We're not being told take vitamin D or spend time in the sun. We're not being told eat foods that increase the oxygen in your blood, right? Because oxygen kills viruses and oxygen kills bacteria and oxygen kills cancer. Right? Why are we not being told about the medicines that we have access to, that nature has provided for mankind since the beginning of human history?
Absolutely, because
Right? Why?
they're not interested in this.
Exactly, because they
They
don't make
use the
money on it.
control. They look
Yeah,
for the control about us. Yeah,
yeah.
all the way of control everybody.
Yeah, it's psychological illness. You know, it's people who want to harm others to benefit themselves.
Yeah.
It's psychological illness, right? It's like a cancer cell in the body, right? A cancerous cell harms the healthy cells to keep itself alive, right? And the whole world, right, is plagued by this cancer virus, this cancer illness. Well, some say it's a virus, some say it's a bacteria, right? Some say it's a genetic problem. So there's this cancer experience, but cancer in the body has the same energy as cancer in society, right? And so human beings are acting the same way that cancer cells do, right? They're trying to harm everybody else around them in order just to keep themselves surviving, keep themselves living the quality of life they want to live, which is oftentimes these excessive states of wealth, because they're the ones who are able to own the media companies and also fund the media companies that spread the information that make everybody afraid.
But you see, it starts, they are controlled, so they control us, and it just goes on.
And the best part of it all is they get their money from us.
Yeah.
Right? Like we buy their products.
Yeah.
Yeah, so stop buying their products. Yeah, stop going to their stores.
For them on top.
Yeah, stop using their websites, right? Or, you know, use them strategically to disseminate good quality information.
Yeah.
Right, create change from the inside out, right? If money gives these companies their power and their reach, right, then why not redirect the money?
Exactly.
Right, we're the ones who control the money. We have far more wealth as a human population than any one person does. Right, and we have far more power, because if you just turn off the television, right, then you stop believing or listening to their message, and then you can put some other messages in your mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But before we program again new things, we need to have to clean it out and deprogram.
Yeah. So silence, time in nature, time with friends. Yeah, do the things that you love that get your mind off of the obsession that this COVID experience has become.
Yeah.
And then look at yourself and say, okay, what can I bring into my life that is going to make the quality of my life better? Yeah. So if you want to be healthy, then do health creating things and don't stay afraid and sick until some medicine's given to you, right? Make yourself healthy right now, and maybe you don't need that medicine.
No, we don't need that medicine.
Yeah. You're free to do whatever you want to do.